Hey guys, welcome back to the final section of our burst level 1 tier list for Nikke, Goddess of Victory. We got a lot of girls, we got a lot of things to cover, so let's jump right into it. We got Tove. Orange Alice, she should have been Trove. I think they missed the perfect opportunity to be Trove, not Tove. Anyways, let's look at her skills. 5% of activating when attacking, affect self, reload 5% of the magazine. She used an SMG, right? Assault rifle. 60 rounds, 5% of 60 is 10? No, it's 3. Is it really only 3 bullets that she gets back? Every 5% chance she can get 3 bullets back. She has a 15% chance of reloading those 3 bullets back again. It's not terrible. I'm sure she continues to shoot for a long time because of this, but it doesn't feel good when it's only 3 bullets, especially in an assault rifle. Activates during emergency crafted bullets, affect all allies. Okay, so you reload your bullets. Everyone gets max ammo up by 2, stacks up to 3 times in the last 5 seconds. I was making fun of this until this second one came into play. Holy shit, this is huge. Critical damage up as well. What the fuck? So not only are you giving 2 bullets to everybody else on your team, up to 6 bullets, you're increasing critical damage by 5%, and it's a 5% chance to go. This is wonderful for shotguns and sniper rifles and rocket launchers, arguably. But like, shotguns are huge because you get 2 more shots out of a shotgun. By the time you shot those 2 shots, she's probably emergency reloaded and you get another 2 shots and your crit goes up. What's her second skill? Only activates when temporary modification is fully stacked, affects all allies. So she needs to stack 3 times within 5 seconds with a 5% shot. And when temporary modification is fully stacked, this is only allies with a shotgun. Affects all allies, makeshift attacks go up. So again, she's increasing attacks of everyone. Mirrors the stack count, so you can stack it up to 3 times. And all shotguns do massive damage. And it also stacks up to 3 times, which is another 60%. So this is fantastic for shotguns. It's 20 seconds. Oh, where do I put Tove? I feel like Tove sits between S and A. And the reason I'm putting her between S and A, she is a shotgun friend, and there's a lot of shotguns. So she makes shotguns useful, but she also does the reload for everyone and crit damage for everyone. But if you're not using a shotgun, I could see her almost dropping to a B. If you're using shotguns, she can be an S rank because her skills are so niche for shotguns. We got Coco. She loves to call me master, and I hate people that call me master. Coco recovers cover. It's only 10% of your cover, and it affects all allies, and it also affects 2 random allies with debuffs and dispel. So dispel and debuffs is good. We'll talk about that because it's one of the few Nikkes that dispels debuffs. Attacks when attacking with full charge. She's very resilient. All allies get a debuff as well. These percentages are incredibly low. When you compare her to Litter or TF or Recover of Cover, it's laughable. When you look at her taking sustainability, she doesn't increase her defense. She doesn't increase her health. All she does is decrease the damage she's taking. She's a dispeller. That is all she is used for, is dispelling, and she doesn't do enough to warrant being in any squad except when you're getting something that you need to dispel off you. That niche puts her all the way down in the D tier. She goes in the D tier because there's not very many enemies that you debuff off. I can't even think of any bosses off the top of my head where you're like, oh no, I need that debuff gone. Next girl, Rapunzel. 60-second burst. 60 seconds. No. Why? But she has full charge. She affects 3 allies with the lowest HP and recovers 2.5% of their health. I'm sure this goes up to like 5%. Allies with the 2 highest attack get more HP and more HP potency. So she's good at giving people heals. You know, it's every 15 seconds she's going to be doing that. So she constantly be giving the highest attackers basically throughout the entire match. They're going to have a bunch of HP, which is kind of good for like Scarlet, for example, where you have 15% more HP, so when she goes under the HP, she can do her crits more. But her burst skill, she does a bunch of heals, all allies, and she revives a person. She revives an ally with the highest attack, which usually it's only 1 person, because if you've lost more than 2 Nikkes, it doesn't matter. When below 30%, stuns everybody for 1 second when you're bursting. Yeah, you can revive someone. You can do it once, maybe twice per battle, and she does do decent healing. So when you look back at the chart, she's better than Mary in healing, so she should go an A. But her 60-second burst puts her down to a C for me. Great in PvP, so maybe she goes back up to B. She's great in PvP because before you get to burst in PvP, somebody's usually dead, so she can revive the person in PvP, which is great. But in any PvE setting, she's going to just be a heal bot that just shoots and charges and you never touch her, and that's it. She's gonna heal. 60 seconds means you have to pair her with another tier 1 that's a 20-second, because she's not even every other burst. She's every other burst. Every 3 bursts she can go, which is twice per battle at most. She's a better healer than Mary and a better healer than Noise, but Noise has better sustainability than her. In fact, you know, I'm gonna put her underneath Noise. I would take Noise over Rapunzel. She's an S to A. Nah shot. She's way too slow of a cooldown. We got Milk, because she does not live up to her name. First off, where's her boobs? You can't be Milk without big tits. All right, she buffs everybody who has the highest attack, 2 of them. She gives them basically 20%. I can see going up to 25% as you level it. That's great. You're buffing people. When she's over 80% health, she increases the critical damage permanently by 6%, which I imagine could go up to 8 to 10. And then her burst, which is 40 seconds, she's going to do massive amount of damage to the enemy with the highest defense, which means you need somebody to debuff to be able to use that very well. Or she's shooting the boss, for example. And she also restores a bunch of attack. So it's kind of like she gives everyone lifesteal. She buffs attack on 2 people. She does critical if she's at full heals. And she does a bunch of damage to 1 nerd. 31% for 10 seconds. Is that rank 10 goes to 31%? No shot. I wish I could see that on this. You can look at the Wikipedia. You're not wrong. I should really be looking at that for all these girls. We'll do that moving forward. Anyways, 31%. Holy shit. All right. She would be great with somebody who, you know, debuffs like Prima. I kind of want to put her in A, but I also want to put her in B. She does buffs, but she doesn't do burst cooldown. I kind of want to feel like she goes in B, because without that burst cooldown, I don't think anyone without burst cooldown can touch A. You have to have a burst cooldown or something incredibly effective to get up into A and S. And all she does is buff 2 people. Like if you put her with Prima, sure, she could do it, but she doesn't burst with Prima. She's also a burst 1. I'm going to put her in a B. I feel like she goes down here with Rapunzel, because I don't think her toolkit's that terrible, but it's also not that great. And she's a 40-second burster. She goes in B, maybe even C. Dr. Pepper. Well, I didn't know it was a doctor for the longest time. Last hit nerd will heal whoever's the lowest. All of her allies get more HP potency, which stacks up to 5 times. So the more she shoots, the more she heals, up to 5 stacks. That's pretty decent. That makes that healing so much better. One enemy with the highest attack gets a whole bunch of damage and decrease their attack for 4% for 5 seconds. Woo. Every 10 seconds, though. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. And then you look at enemies with the highest attack, they get a whole bunch of fucking final attack damage because she's not very good at attack. And also increases all stacks of buffs by 1, which would increase her HP potency. It's when her refresh heart, which is the HP potency, when that becomes fully stacked, it gives HP up to 30% of their max final HP. She's a great heal bot. She heals like a ton of bricks. Pepper. Really good healer, better than Mary, better than Noise. I kind of feel like Pepper might be an A because she does buff things, but she doesn't decrease burst. I kind of think she can go between A and B. Pepper not bad though. Pepper good girl. Who needs healing? Why are you getting hit? Use your cover, dummy. Jackal. What's Jackal's skills? Let's see. Stacks 10 times, affect the enemy with the highest HP, decreases their attack, increases their damage. When entering battle, affects self and 2 ally units with highest attack, shares damage. I don't like that, but they do get a bunch of defense. Burst skill damage or skills with affects 1 enemy units in the description. It is 20-second cooldown, and she does give survivabilities to some of your best girls. She's good at PvP. I'm gonna put her down in the B. She only is good for PvP. Next girl up, we have Jan. At the beginning of a full burst, charge damage is increased for everybody. So she likes sniper rifles and rocket launchers. Okay, activates when activating a full charge, affects all allies, which is great because when she's charging her charge damage, she's increasing attack for everyone. It doesn't stack, which is bad. And she does critical rate, which is really fucking pathetic. When she bursts, she calls Fat Cat, which is 20 seconds. Why is it called Fat Cat? Does it drop a cat on them? Deals a bunch of damage. Of my final attack is damage force movement towards the center of attack range. Okay, so from the tornado symbol, I'm assuming it sucks everybody to where she shot. But that could be bad because if you shoot at the back line, you lose all of your shotguns. Yan goes to D. She's not that good, chat. Her buff is less than 5%. Her suck isn't that good. We have Roxanne. Is it Roxanne? Rosanna. Makes her no longer the target of single target attacks for 10 seconds. Crit rate goes up. It's a 20% crit rate. Activates after landing 10 normal attacks. Affects 2 enemy units with the highest attack. It dispels 5 buffs. What bosses get buffs? That's one of my biggest problems with this entire game is it never really shows you your enemy's buffs and you have to pause to see your debuffs. They show up as a little red thing at the bottom, but you don't know what they are. Their second skill, activating when entering battle. She is concealed, which means from the start, she can't get targeted unless she gets shot. And if she continues to shoot, she'll be fine. Whenever somebody dies, she does more damage, which stacks up to 10 times. If you have a problem with people dying, Rosanna likes it. You don't want people to die because 20% increase to attack is not that good. Not a good skill right now. Nobody can really fill this for her. And then her burst, which is 40 seconds, which is another ding, shoots 2 attacker enemies for a whole bunch of damage. But again, she's a machine gunner, so it's not that much, but it is 1,000% increase. Whenever she's in concealment, she'll do another 561. She needs to have people die for her to be useful. Rosanna goes in the F. Rosanna is our first F because there's no reason to use her. All right, who's next? All right, who's next? All right. Let's be serious. Let's look at Ray. Oh, God, this is painful. All right, Ray, what are your skills? Oh, you don't say. After 60 normal attacks, you fill your burst gauge by 2%. Great. And you have a decoy whenever it exists where it gets more HP, so you don't have to worry. You're tanking with a decoy. Cool. Which has 96% of your health, not 100%. When you burst, you taunt, which means a penguin takes all your damage. When you have a decoy, it recovers your decoy's health again, but it's only like 22%. The dummy just up and dies. Your skills are useless. So you have to invest a shit ton into her to have that maximum HP. She still sits in F. Her skills are not that good. Let's go look at Neon. Oh no, we're in the purples now. The 2 allies with the biggest attack activates upon killing an enemy where they get more crit by 4%, and it's only 4%, doesn't stack, and it's only 5 seconds. When she bursts, she increases the critical rate of everyone for 2 shots. That's it. So you're gonna crit really good for 2 shots. Any machine gunners, any SMGs, assault rifles, that's a joke. And her burst hits 1 person with the highest defense for only 600, 500% of her damage. And then everybody with a shotgun gets 3 more rounds. You guys remember Tove? Neon's just like Tove, but she goes down into the D ranking. Actually, she might even go down in the F. She's definitely F. She doesn't belong in the D. I'm sorry. If you put Neon on your squad, you're dumb. We got Anchor Up. Anchor Up I love because she's a member of AG squad, so I'm gonna put a little bit of bias on this one. When the last bullet hits, taunts for 5 seconds. Increases her defense by 25. Activates when she's entering battle. She can do continuous damage to enemy projectiles, which we previously discussed. Not a good thing. And then when she bursts, she does a bunch of damage. It's final attack, and it's a 20-second burst. She's a great taunter, but she doesn't have any sustainability. Anchor, I'm sorry. Welcome to the F category. All right, we got Christmas Mica. Activating when landing 120 attacks, which I call is her entire clip. And then it takes 2 seconds to reload to do it all over again. If every shot hits and doesn't get misplaced, every ally takes less damage. And it lasts for 15 seconds. And whenever she's doing the tidy up, being full attack, max ammunition capacity goes up by 40%. But when you're looking at her next ability, she needs to land 150 normal attacks, which means she needs to reload at least once before she can use this. And then stacks go up by 1, which means you can add another 2% there. And your burst gauge fills immediately amazingly fast. So in PvP, all you gotta do is waste 1 clip, reload, get 30 more bullets in, and you're bursting. This basically means you win your round of PvP because you use all your bursts faster than anybody else. Her one ability is that she dispels a debuff and it increases your attack by 40%. Christmas Mica is a hard one because she's basically making it so you win 1 PvP match, but she's not useful at anything else. So I kind of put her in C. I could put her almost up into a B, but she's not that good. All right, next girl. All right, N102, I already know you're going in the F category. I've never looked at your skills before. One ally with the highest attack during full charge gets 3 more shots. Oh my god. 3 more shots. Max ammo goes up by 3 bullets. Critical damage goes up by 10%. Allies with the highest HP, one of them, increases their charge damage. Everybody gets 25% attack increase. That's all she does. All she does is buff one person with attack, one person with the highest HP. None of this is useful. Next girl, we got Mica. Attack 20 times, increases her defense by 40% for 10 seconds. Affects 2 allies with the highest attack. They get 2 more bullets for 10 seconds, and their defense goes up by 20 every 20 seconds. So it's only a 10-second buff and it falls off. And then when she bursts, she does only 150% of her final attack as damage to all enemies. And she also decreases their defense. So she helps other people survive. Yeah, she could go straight down to the F category. All right, Ether, is it Ether? What is this girl's name? Why does she have such a dumb name? Damage taken minus 52% for 5 seconds to the person with the lowest remaining HP. So that means they're not gonna die. Then her next skill affects the 3 enemy units with the highest defense. It does a bunch of damage, but it happens every 13 seconds. During full burst, get decreased defense of about 10% for 6 seconds. So, and then her burst skill, she gives 3 people a shield equal to 96% of her maximum HP. And it's a 40-second cooldown. You could join the rest of the rares at the bottom of the list. Oh no, we're starting to touch the blues. I feel like the blues are all going down into Fs. 10% chance of it activating after casting normal attacks. It deals a bunch of damage as additional damage. Okay, that's not bad. Affects 3 people with the highest attack. Increases their cover. Bro, that actually might be useful. Affects all fire code allies. Maximum ammunition goes up. That's a burst to give ammo out? Holy shit. I feel like she goes into a C. I think that rare sits in a C. All right, Pascal, what do you do? After firing 10 times, the highest defense increased by getting a bunch of health. And then when it enters burst stage 1, the lowest hit points get healed better. And then for burst skill, the 3 people with the lowest hit points, they also get 55%. This is not good heals to me. So unfortunately, Pascal has to go in a C or possibly lower. The only reason I'm putting them in C is if you have a tank, yeah, it can stay alive. Pascal doesn't do as bad as say an F or D. Another rare girl. Product 8. When a normal attack hits, there's a 20% chance of affecting 1 ally with the lowest HP. Gets 10% defense for 5 seconds. That is trash. Affects 1 ally unit with the highest attack. You get critical every 17 seconds for 5 seconds. That uptime is so low. And then the burst every 20 seconds, all allies only get 20% attack. That's so low. Where do I even put her? She could go in the D category pretty easily, possibly a C. All right, she's doing all that sort of buffing, but her stats really shouldn't put her up in the C. I feel like she's a D. I don't even know her name. All right, activates when last bullet hits the target. Affects 1 ally unit with the lowest HP percentage. Recovers their HP by 5%. The ally with the lowest HP every 15 seconds gets 10% of their HP back. And then when she bursts, she just gives more heals. I kind of feel like she could go in the D category. She's the worst healer, but at least she got heals for days. The last tier 1 girl. We've been doing this for 2 hours now. iDoll flower. I love her outfit. I love her design. Activates when the last bullet hits the target. Affects the target. 1 enemy with the highest attack decreases their attack. That's not useful. 1 enemy unit with the highest attack gets a whole bunch of damage and is taunted. She doesn't have health to take a taunt. As much as she decreases attacks, nah, fam, you're not useful. Get out of here. So there's our tier 1 burst tier lists. I do feel very satisfied with how we're currently sitting. Litter, I argue, is one of the best. I would argue that Dorothy's actually in between Litter and Tia. I would definitely say that depending upon the fight, they're equal. But that would be my S tier ratings right there. Those 3.5, depending upon if shotguns get better. I really hope they do. The A's, I'm very happy with the A's that are there. Prima, I could argue, could go down, but because she's doing such a defense debuff, she can be extremely useful as an A. And then we got Sakura, we got Dr. Pepper. They're not terrible, but they kind of sit between. I really wish Noise was higher, but this is purely just looking at their stats. She has great sustainability. She has great heals. You need the burst cooldowns that you get up in the S and A's. There's one girl I didn't put up in S. We should really look at Red Hood. She's definitely S tier. When she's doing a normal attack, her charge speed goes up every attack. So she easily gets for 5 seconds, 30% extra charge speed. When she enters battle, she increases her charge damage and it's increased continuously for the entire battle. It can't go over 100% charge speed. When she enters battle, she gains pierce all the time. You're getting double damage for free. When she activates Beast Cage, which is one of her bursts, she gets extra defense. When she does Last Howl, which I believe is her second burst, we'll get to those bursts, she recovers hit points. Also, when she's red wolfing, her attack damage goes out of the moon for another 10 seconds. 71% attack damage.
Hey!
And of course, her bursts are all different bursts. They're all 40 seconds, so you can use her in any of the burst levels, 1, 2, 3. She increases attack of everyone. Everyone gets attacked. The cooldown of burst skill drops by 40 seconds, only for the first burst. And then guess what? You can burst number 2 right away. You can burst 1, burst 2 immediately. That gives her taunt, more HP healing, so she can get healed a lot better. Of course, she could go ahead and burst 3. Burst 3 changes her weapon so that the Doom's Finder goes bloop, 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 bloop. And it bounces around like an idiot, but the damage increases yet again. Pierce increases by twice the piercing range, and you charge faster, which equates to more damage. She just blows your mind with how good she is. She gets to go on top of everybody. I would definitely look at Red Hood. I would not use Red Hood as a burst 1 all the time, but she's clearly in a league of her own. All right, guys, thank you for watching the entire video. Yet again, we're gonna give you one more recruitment video just to end it off. So here's your recruitment. We're gonna be pulling for Moran. We're gonna see if we can pull her. Chances are, let's be honest, it's not likely. It's like a 2% chance. Let's see. Come on, debate me. What a way to end a 20-minute video with no SSR. What is this garbage? Oh my God. Well, that was our burst 1 tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy these recruits at the end of the videos, but hey, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.